Welcome to Shock It. Today I will explain our shocking device, which consists of a battery pack and some other components. We will shock some components over here, and we will understand kind of what's going on when static electricity affects electronics. Today our shocking device consists of a battery pack with 4 AA's giving 6 volts of power, a switch, wire to an inverter which steps up the 6 volts to just about 120,000 volts. And then it comes out these 2 wires and we can see some pretty cool stuff going on there. The first thing that we're going to test here is this tone tracker. So we're going to be able to listen to the frequency of this device. So if I turn it on, and I turn on the tone tracker, and I keep it away, you hear all that static. It gets louder and louder. And it affects the machine quite a bunch. Listen to that noise. Goes all the way, the feedback's all the way into the battery pack too. And that's what it's normally like, not much. This is an Arduino Uno, and we're going to see how well it withstands the 120,000 volts of static electricity. We're going to plug it in right now, and we're going to see that the device functions. But let's see if it does this after we shock it a bunch. Ground on wire. Here we go. Oh, you see those LEDs lighting up in there? A little flickering. Alright, let's see if it works. Rebooting the power supply and plugging it in, the lights still work, but after a couple seconds or so, the lights actually go out because the power supply gets tripped because this thing is actually overheating. Because we did an Arduino Uno, we also had to do an Arduino Mega. So, here we go. Look at the sparks on that. All these different pins. Really like the circuitry here, and there's some LEDs here that light up. You see that? The Arduino Mega, after being shocked, also does not turn on. The next thing we are going to shock with static electricity is this voltmeter, which has some integrated circuits on the back, some LEDs, and some wire, which could make for some interesting shocking. Definitely can't read up to 120,000 volts, so let's see what happens here. Yep, nothing's even happening just with the wires. Look at that. You can get the lights to light up just from going near it. We got lights going, we got some big sparks you can see on both cameras. So now let's try and turn this thing on, but you see it's just a red light and there's actually smoke coming from it. Let's see what happens if oh, it just burnt out and you see the diode fell off. It burnt some components right off the board. Diode and looks like a transistor of some kind. They just got fried and overheated and fell off the board. The next thing we're going to shock are a variety of light bulbs. The first one we have here is a fluorescent tube, compact fluorescent bulb with phosphorescent material in it. We're going to see what happens when we charge this thing with static electricity. The next is an LED bulb, and we're going to see if the LEDs light up or if the components inside fry. We'll test it after and see what happens. We know it works. And the last bulb we have here is a larger version of a Nixie light bulb, which is similar to neon light, but it uses like a neon gas, but it charges at different voltages, and let's see what happens. Got some light coming through, and it really doesn't do too much unless you connect something to one of these bottom pins here, but definitely lighten up a little bit. You see that in the camera? Next light bulb. Doesn't look like you're getting much out of this one. I don't think anything's lighting up in there. Oop! Look at that. Who would have expected that? That's nuts. Are we powering this light? Wow. It's a strobe light. That's really cool. I wonder, there's got to be the capacitors charging up enough to be able to do that. That's probably what it is. Now this light bulb might just be my favorite. This. Pretty neat. Look what's going on here. We got tons of static going on. You got orange flares coming off of this thing. Look what happens if I short it. Listen to the noise of that. It sounds like it's hissing. Flares jumping around in there. Look at that. The next thing we are going to shock is this portal speaker device. It has an aux, power switch, and speaker that you unwind and you can place on anything, and it makes the noise through that transducer like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to shock this thing and we'll see what happens. We got our speaker here with connected to an iPod. We're going to see what happens. We're going to ground one end and we're going to shock the rest of it. The next thing we are going to shock is this radio, commonly used for hikers or skiers or people who just need a radio. So we're going to see what happens if we shock it. So as you can see, the radio is on right now. We're going to see the light. We can change some modes. See what happens if we shock it. Listen to the noise, it just doesn't sound good at all. This radio is getting fried. Shocking the back too. Oh man. Look at that. Look at this. This thing's an electrical nightmare. Just turned right back on. Let's see if our tone checker can sense if it's sending any signals. Yeah, it's definitely working still. Maybe not 100%, you can see the screen's still a little bit messed up, but definitely still working. Thanks for watching. See you next time.